Alright, I just uncorked the bike. So I got a new map switch, new ECU, which is down underneath there. And I also took the thing out of the pipes. There's not like this tiny little silencer thing. This little tiny guy. And for reference for how small this thing is, this is an XR100 tailpipe. It's smaller than an XR100. The new ECU is you need the new ECU because it'll have a new tune for the fact that you have a less restricted air box now. I also took that Shiwi out of the air box. This is just a huge restriction. I took that out. So now that the bike is breathing more, the new computer is programmed to for that higher flow of air and exhaust. So this is going to be my first little ride, and I don't have much time. Sun's down like almost now, so it might start getting dark soon. Whoa. Right off the bat, I noticed that the throttle is way more responsive. First thing I'm noticing is that it's way more responsive. Seems to have a little bit better torque off idle. I'm actually on a bit of a slope right now. Oh yeah, there's definitely way more jam than it had before. Like I said, I don't even know if I'm on the mild or wild right now. I want to say that the light on means mild, but I can't remember. It didn't actually say in the thing that I got. So far is there's way more power. I'd say the bottom end's about the same. Mid-range is quite a bit stronger, but then it pulls through the top, where before I'd get to just over mid-range, it would literally fall flat. Where if I was on a hill climb, in top a second it wouldn't hold it. It would actually be better to grab third and hold mid-range in third. This hill's too small to show that, but I'll go to one that is. But it just picks up so much harder. Holy yeah, this thing flies up hills now. I mean, that hill was small and not very hard before, but yeah, like it wouldn't rev out before. There's a nice big one down there. Let's try this boy. This baddie. Second. picking the front tire off the ground all the time. Or it didn't used to do that. It did not pick the front tire off the ground before. Okay. Whew. Didn't make the hill. But I can tell this has way more rock. And I don't know if I'm in Maldiva. There's a hill right here that I do better in mid-third than top of second. So I'm gonna try second this time. It's got way more over rev than it did, for sure. Does that mean, where's no? Does that mean I should try third? At this point, I'm just rocking up that hill. Yeah. My kickstand's down. I know you were trying to help. Read the room. There's a giant stump right there. I just about clipped it. So I had to weave, and then I almost hit this tree. And then I went up and over. I'm gonna try that hill again. But I'm gonna try with the light off. See if I notice the difference. So I'm gonna do second gear again. Okay, that one's okay, it makes even more power now. With the light off. That's the hill climb button. Right there. Oh man, these things are... Okay, I officially own a 450. It was not a 450 before. You can get to it this way. Still in the high switch. But at least I think it's high. It felt like high. I just wasn't sure because even on the blue button, it had way more power than it did on the than it did before. You come around this corner, it's just like left, right, left, right. Up the hill. Holy this thing's a rocket now. Like, it is unbelievably more power. Wow, I rode this bike for about 10 hours corked, completely corked. The only thing I did is took the throttle screw out. And it was great, I had fun, but you could tell it was missing something, but damn, this thing was missing a lot. Let me do that again. That one was fun. used to be able to hold wide open second gear, and I was asking for more. Now, you cannot hold on to it wide open. You can't. You gotta like modulate yourself somehow. See how that front wheel just come right up off there? It never did that before. It did not. It would not. Oh look, it's here. 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them. Him. 1, 2, 4, 6. Thing down. Oh boy, that's a hill climb. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'll still climb a hill and put the light blue on, but damn, that was a lot. Going up those hills, like the one I just did. I did it yesterday. I didn't film it, but I did it in second gear, and I would hold it wide open. And it was like, oh, and you get up to the top. And then you do it in third, you grab like mid-range third, just, and it would pull you through, but you had to keep your speed up so that you were still in third, in a good mid-range third. But now, you can just rev it right out and hold your speed, and you got so much power on demand. Holy smokes. That was amazing. Have you? Wow. Last time I rode a 450, I mean, I guess I rode, was it like a 2009 KX 450 for like 10 minutes. Later last year, mid last year, actually might have been spring last year, so about a year ago. And that thing moved pretty good. But before that, any kind of time I had on a 450 was like in 2005. I rode a 2004 450 a little bit, not very much, but you know, half an hour, something like that. And boy, yeah, 450s, they got power. And this thing is a rocket. It still has the stock spark arrestor in it. I took the little baffle thing out, and I don't have a high flow air filter. It's just the stock one, whatever came in it. But the power these things have. Like those hills, they didn't care that you're on an uphill. It used to care. If you were on an uphill, it used to care. Like you could grab literally all of the throttle, and you were just nothing but technique at that point. But you could hear it. You could hear it just starving, like wanting more. And you knew that there was more there, but it wouldn't do it. But now you have that, like, it just raised the ceiling twice over. Like there's so much more power up there. It's amazing. I just went up that hill probably almost twice as fast as I did yesterday. I tried it in second yesterday, full throttle, made it to the top, but it wasn't hugely impressive. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try mid-range third, you know, because you don't have a huge amount of run-up. And then I held mid-range third, and it was probably about the same amount of speed. But it kind of felt like I had more power because I was like in the meat of it. Where now I just did top end at second, and it's just like it doesn't care you're going up a hill. It wants to pull that front wheel right off the ground. Crazy. I was gonna text my wife. I mean, I probably should just go home, but I can just text her now and send her a meme. I texted a meme to my wife and to Damien saying I'm a rocket man, because that is how this bike feels right now. It felt like a torquey 250, but it did not have the top end that a 250 has. So I betcha that a 250F, not like a WR450, unless it's an uncorked WR450, but like a, say a 250FX, you know, Yamaha or Honda, Kawasaki, doesn't matter, a race version of a 250F, I bet you it had quite a lot more top end than this thing had. This thing probably had more like super low grunt, probably comparable mid-range. I'm not sure, I'm just speculating, because I mean, I've ridden some 250Fs, but not lately. But now it's a 450. It's a 450. In conclusion, a corked 450, WR450, is fun to ride, don't get me wrong. If you're doing nothing but trail rides, it's actually perfect. It's actually really good, because it's really controllable, really torquey, never gets away from you. If you do any kind of hill climbing, uncork it. Yeah, otherwise you don't need to. You don't. Because even in the low setting, this thing is still way more powerful than it used to be. So it's a lot of fun.